Have you ever wondered how climate change affects your daily life? It's a question that carries weight in our world today. It's not just about melting ice caps or rising temperatures, it's about the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the world we're shaping for future generations. This video will guide you through the tangled web of climate change, from historical facts to present impacts, and even solutions. So buckle up. Join us as we go on a journey through time, exploring the evolving story of climate change. To understand the present, we must first delve into the past. Climate change, in essence, is a long-term shift in weather conditions and temperature patterns. This is not a new phenomenon, folks. Our planet has gone through numerous climate cycles over its history of billions of years, swinging like a pendulum between ice ages and warmer interglacial periods. Now imagine Earth's climate as a grand, intricate symphony. Each element, the sun, the oceans, the wind, the ice, the rocks, plays its part in harmony. Sometimes the music shifts, the rhythm changes. That's natural climate change for you. It's slow, it's gradual, and life has time to adapt. However, the climate change we are experiencing now is different, and here's why. Enter the Industrial Revolution, a time of great progress but also the beginning of our current climate crisis. The Industrial Revolution, spanning the late 18th to the early 20th century, was a period of significant leaps in technology and industry. However, it also marked a major shift in our relationship with the environment. Before this time, human impact on the climate was relatively minimal. But with the advent of industrial processes, we began to see an increase in the emission of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide and methane. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, leading to a gradual increase in the Earth's average temperature, a process we now know as global warming. Coal, oil, and natural gas, the fossil fuels that powered the Industrial Revolution, are the primary sources of these greenhouse gases. When burned, these fuels release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. As industries expanded and populations grew, so did our reliance on these fuels and consequently, our greenhouse gas emissions. But it's not just industry that's the issue. Deforestation, largely driven by agricultural expansion, has also played a significant role. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, acting as a natural buffer against climate change. But as forests are cleared, not only is this helpful absorption reduced, but the carbon stored in the trees is released back into the atmosphere. And let's not forget about methane, a greenhouse gas 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. It's released in significant amounts through livestock farming and waste decomposition, further driving the rapid pace of climate change. So, in essence, our modern way of life, from the cars we drive to the food we eat, has accelerated the rate of climate change. It's a complex problem, with roots in every aspect of our society. The consequences of this rapid change are being felt globally, and they are far from trivial. The impacts are wide-ranging and severe, affecting everything from weather patterns to biodiversity, but that's a story for the next scene. From the frozen poles to the warm tropics, climate change is leaving its mark. It's like a sneaky artist, subtly altering the canvas of our planet in ways we might not notice until it's too late. Imagine the Earth as a giant interconnected system. In this system, changes in one part can cause ripple effects in others. It's no different with climate change. Rising temperatures don't just mean hotter summers. They have wide-ranging implications that affect our planet's ecosystems, wildlife, and even our communities. Let's start with the icy realms of the polar regions. The Arctic and Antarctic are warming twice as fast as the rest of the planet. As ice melts, polar bears and other species lose their homes. But it's not just about the wildlife. The melting ice contributes to rising sea levels, which threaten coastal communities and small island nations. Moving on to the tropics, warmer temperatures and changing rainfall patterns disrupt the delicate balance of tropical rainforests. These forests are home to over half of the world's species, and their loss would be a staggering blow to global biodiversity. But it's not just about the animals and plants. Human communities are also feeling the heat. In many parts of the world, more frequent and severe heat waves, hurricanes, and floods are becoming the new normal. These extreme weather events can lead to a cascade of problems, from crop failures and food shortages, to displacement and conflict. Even the ocean isn't immune to the effects of climate change. Rising sea temperatures and acidification threaten coral reefs, the rainforests of the sea, which support a quarter of all marine life. And let's not forget about the economic costs. From damage to infrastructure and agriculture to increased healthcare costs, the bill for climate change is already running into billions of dollars each year, If this sounds alarming, it's because it is. But it's not too late to change the course. We still have time to act, to adapt, and to mitigate the worst effects of climate change. But we need to act now, and we need to act together. The challenge is immense, but so is our potential to combat it. Climate change may seem like an insurmountable obstacle, but there are solutions available, and each one of us can contribute to their implementation. Firstly, let's talk about renewable energy. Solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal power are all energy sources that don't emit harmful greenhouse gases. They're sustainable and abundant, with the sun alone providing enough energy in 1 hour to power our entire planet for a year. Imagine that. Harnessing this energy is not a far-fetched dream. It's happening right now, and with continued investment and development, renewable energy can become our main power source, displacing the fossil fuels that are heating up our planet. Next up is carbon capture technology. This is a bit like a vacuum cleaner for the atmosphere, sucking up excess carbon dioxide and storing it safely away. While this technology is still in its early stages, it holds great promise. Imagine if every industrial plant in the world was fitted with a carbon capture device, working day and night to reverse our past mistakes. It's a bold vision, but one that's within our grasp. But technology alone won't solve the problem. We also need to change our consumption habits. This means eating less meat, as livestock farming is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. It means driving less and cycling or walking instead. It means buying less stuff and reusing or recycling what we already have. Each of these actions might seem small on their own, but combined, they can have a massive impact. The key to tackling climate change is collective action. We all have a role to play, from the political leaders who set policies, to the engineers who design renewable energy systems, to the consumers who choose to buy local and organic. It's not just about saving the polar bears or preserving rainforests. It's about securing our future and the future of generations to come. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires persistence and commitment. But with each step we take, we're moving closer to a world that's cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable. We have the knowledge, the technology, and the power to make a difference. Now all we need is the will. In the words of renowned environmentalist David Attenborough, the world is not a place for our taking, it's a place for our making. So let's make it a place we can be proud of, a place where every species can thrive, a place that's resilient and robust, not fragile and fading. The challenge is immense, but so is our potential to combat it. Remember that, and remember each of us has a role to play in this global effort. Now that we understand the problem, it's time to be part of the solution. We've journeyed through the history, causes, and impacts of climate change. We've explored solutions, both grand and small. Now it's time to turn knowledge into action, because every small step counts and every individual matters. Think about your daily life. The choices you make, the habits you form, they all contribute to the world we live in. You can make a difference, starting today. How? Let's explore a few simple yet effective ways. Firstly, let's talk about waste. Each year we generate billions of tons of waste, much of which ends up in landfills, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. By reducing, reusing, and recycling, we can significantly cut down on waste production. So, next time you're about to throw something away, think twice. Could it be repurposed? Could it be recycled? Secondly, consider your energy usage. Turning off lights when you're not in the room, unplugging electronics when they're not in use, opting for energy-efficient appliances, these all add up to substantial energy conservation. And lastly, support renewable energy. Whether it's by installing solar panels on your roof or choosing an energy provider that prioritizes renewables, every bit helps to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels. Remember, the fight against climate change begins with you. Let's make a difference together. Because in the end, it's not just about saving the planet, it's about safeguarding our future. Subscribe, like, and share for more about absorbing future.